Hello my beautiful butterflies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beverley and it is lovely to see you today. In this video we're going to be talking about online altar spaces, so grab that cup of tea, let's get to it. So not everybody can be out and proud about being a witch, unfortunately. Even in this day and age there is still hatred and a lot of misunderstanding about what witchcraft is. And so sometimes we need to be a little bit different about how we practice. But I'm lucky. I don't have to be sneaky, like I have an altar in my home. However, it's good to have a lot of different options, and I've spoken a couple of times on this channel about my online altars and I've never done a video about it, but somebody asked and requested that I would do a video completely about online altar spaces. So here we are. I love taking my lead from you, so if you have any ideas, anything I mention in any video that you want me to expand on or do more information on, just let me know down in the comments. Send me a message on Instagram, send me an owl, you know, just anything you need to do to get my attention, I am more than happy to do. Don't forget, before we get started, if you're new here, you can click the subscribe button to become part of the butterfly family. We would love to see you here. So yeah, leave me a cheeky little like, drop me a comment, let's get to it. So online altars, why is being online valid? I think for a lot of us, we imagine the online world to be kind of imaginary, made up, it's not quite real. But I kind of think of the online world as an alternate dimension that we're able to access through these magical things called computers and phones, etc. The online world is a place where we can learn and grow. Some of us use that opportunity to fake being somebody else to get money. It's a choice, not one that I would personally say is a good idea, but you know, there's always somebody who's going to spoil the fun. But I love being online. I spend most of my time on some sort of device. I've always loved the computers, I've always loved being online, and yeah, I was here for the creation of it. I'm that old. But I absolutely love using my online time as a time for spiritual growth and a way to practice my faith. And a big part of that can be by watching YouTubers like myself. Well, I don't watch myself, but you know what I mean. Watching other YouTubers, listening to podcasts, reading books on my Kindle. And a big thing that I love doing is having online altars. An altar is a spiritual place where you can go to pray, to have statues and candles for deities that you work with or ancestral work. It's a place where you can build spells or do study. It's just an incredible space. But not everybody is able to have. It might be that you're in the It might be that you're in the broom closet, so you're not able to be out and proud about being a witch for whatever reason. Maybe you're a child still or a teenager and you're under Christian parents' home, or maybe you live with a shared house. You might not be with a partner who's very supportive. There's a million reasons. On top of that, you might not have a lot of space, especially if you live in a city. Our apartments and places are getting smaller and smaller and smaller because there's more and more of us. I live in like a 1970s house. I have my altar set up in my bedroom that I share with my husband, and he's very kind to let me have the altar space there. But the point is that I don't like having it in a shared place because it's somewhere I go for my sacred time. I don't want somebody watching me or being involved in that, really. It's private. And it might also be that you don't have the money to buy the things that you want to buy. You can't get the things that you want to get. Maybe you live in a country where it's not so easy to buy things. And so having that online space is a way to have those things in like an imaginary place or an alternate dimension, if you will. And so today we're talking about two places where I mostly have used for altars and building altars and vision boards and that sort of spiritual thing. One is Pinterest and one is Canva. So I've been on Pinterest, I think, since it started, to be honest with you. I love Pinterest. I've talked about it many times. I've done videos where I've done outfits inspired by Pinterest. Pinterest and things. Pinterest is just somewhere that I really love. I use it a lot for my blog and here on YouTube, but I also use it to create online altars. I have an altar on there for my goddess Diana and one for Michael, Archangel Michael, who I work with, and also have one for ancestors, and I have another one that's just for spirituality, that's like where I put all like witchcraft articles and videos that I want to read or watch later. They're all put in there. But my altars are things like if I see a statue on eBay and I'm like, I would love that statue, but it's like this big and it's £250, I can't afford that. I can't buy that. It's not going to happen. Then I will take that picture and I will pin it into my altar space as an offering to Michael, because I know that he knows I don't have that money, but I can still use my online space to pin that to his altar as if I'm putting it on the altar for him. Also, if I find like somebody's created this beautiful, really expensive candle or something that I would really love to give, but I don't have the means to be able to do it, I will pin it in there as a way of still offering to them the things that I would love to give. It's also a way of saving things like there are invocations and spells and rituals that are specific for certain deities. So you can find like Persephone oils and things like that. You can pin those recipes and songs and things if you don't have the means or the ability to make those. You can pin them to that altar and it's as if you're giving that thing to them. You're energetically still doing the work. It's the same. And I will often go through that board and change things around, add things to it. And I love having that online space because I then can give things that I can't afford, I don't have the energy for. Like making oils and things like that is the dream. It's what we all want to be able to do. But when you have chronic illnesses like I do, having the actual ability to buy all the things, do a massive, special oil, it can be quite intense on my health. And so instead I can pin the recipe to do maybe when I'm feeling better, but for right now I'm not possible to do it, but I'm still giving that to them. I'm still saying, look at this amazing thing I would do for you if I could. And I like to think of my online presence as being online Beverley, so another version of me in another dimension. That Beverley, well, maybe she's doing these oils and chants and things that I can't possibly do. Maybe she's buying them. I don't know what that Beverley's up to, but I do have an online presence, and I often think of that as another dimensional version of myself. That's because of my personal beliefs. There is a lot of evidence for alternate dimensions if you want to get into that, and there's also the theory of simulation theory, in that we are kind of like in a computer somewhere and somebody is playing us like The Sims. If that simulation theory is correct, then I don't exist any more than you would probably imagine Beverley Online exists. So it's a big mind blowing moment when you start to think of these things, but it's definitely shaped my beliefs, and I do think there is an online version of me who is performing these things that I am not able to do in this body as this Beverley, but she can. So having an online altar is a really wonderful way of giving online Beverley means to worship my deities, if that makes sense. So I'll put things like candles that I like, statues that I like. I mean, you can find some beautiful statues of deities and they can run into a lot of money. You can find them cheaper, but they're usually made of cheaper materials and things and don't look as nice. So if I find a statue that I really love, I'll usually just pin it in my online altar and imagine it on a little altar somewhere online. I love that. I'll also pen songs and recipes, even like pictures of St. Michael churches. There are a lot of churches that are dedicated to St. Michael, and you can find pictures and information on them online, and I will whack them in there. Information that you find on Wikipedia and stuff you can pin in there. It's just a way of increasing your knowledge and also giving time of yourself to them. So that's what I do on Pinterest. Another way is through Canva. Now this is great if you love making pictures and stuff and you're not good at drawing. this girl is that. I am not good at drawing, but I love creating things. And so a long time ago, I got into Photoshop and I love playing around in there. But I really love Canva because it is free to use to a point. There are things on there that you can do that you can pay for. And if you want to do that and have the means to do that, that's perfectly fine. But there are ways of doing things that are free on there. And that's what I love. My desktop wallpaper on my computer is like a vision board altar of things that I want to bring into my practice, of things that I love, of things that I want to bring into my life. And it's a picture that I made on Canva for free. You just simply go onto Canva, make a free account on there. There are choices that you can make that will make it a paid account. If, say, for example, you want to make t-shirt designs to sell, you have to pay for that. But making a free wallpaper is really easy. There's just like a drop down menu. You click wallpaper, it comes up the right size, and then you go down the side. You can just search for literally anything and pictures of those things will come up, and you just drag them over. You just click them and put them. You can resize them. It's really beginner friendly, and then you just save it to your computer. I absolutely love that. I love the fact that it's so easy to use. And making vision boards, and say you want to make an altar on your computer or a picture that you want to make for a deity that you love and you're not very good at art, you can make it in Canva. It's a really, really easy way of doing things. So I highly recommend that. I will leave links to both places down below, and a link to my personal Pinterest will also be below. Having an online space is incredible. We all do it anyway. We're all sat there online. So why not bring the online into our spiritual practice? Why not create spiritual spaces online? I would love to know if this is something that you do. If it is, let me know down in the comments. I want to hear all your thoughts and feelings on this, because I know a lot of people think online is, technology shouldn't come into it. It's spiritual. But I'm a big one. If you find an app that, is for tarot readings, you can't afford tarot cards, use the app. If you enjoy something online, why not bring it into your spiritual life? So definitely let me know down below in the comments if this is something that you do, or if I've changed your mind on how you view technology and the online world. Let me know down below. Don't forget to follow me down on Pinterest, because I follow most people back. I must be honest, I love following people on their online places. I'm a very social person online, so definitely make sure to check the description for links to everything. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to head down below and leave it a cheeky little like, so I know that you enjoyed it and I can bring more like this to the channel in future. I love hearing from you guys, so don't forget to leave me a comment. Let me know if there's any videos that you would like me to do more information on. If you'd like me to do tutorials for any of these online places, just let me know down below. And last but certainly not least, if you like my content, if you like my face, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ring that little bell so you always know when I upload. I'm usually here Mondays and Fridays, my health permitting. I always do my very best to be here with you every week, twice a week. I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye.